Hey, what's up guys, John here. Auto loan delinquencies now are higher than they were in 2008. In fact, they're 20% higher than they were in 2008.
Subprime auto delinquencies are actually worse now than they were during the Great Recession. And I think
Wow.
that speaks to the impact of higher prices. The average new car price is approaching $50,000.
We're witnessing 20,000 repossessions occur every single day, 600,000 repossessions every month.
We're seeing a pretty big uptick in repossessions.
When do you say dramatic uptick? Can you put some numbers behind that?
Yeah, I think this is just for the business that we do, right? We're seeing it grow about 5% every month.
And that number is likely going to hit 1 million repossessions a month over the next 6 months. And the reason for this is because we're walking into a car market apocalypse that nobody is aware of. Everyone's asleep at the wheel. They look around, everything seems fine, but what they don't see is this massive black swan event that's coming. And I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you the facts. I'm going to lay everything out clearly. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate other people about what's really going on in the U.S. economy. If you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any issue in your credit report, book a free strategy session by clicking the link in the description below this video. Take a look at this. So, percentage of subprime auto borrowers 60 days plus past due hits a record 6.1%. In 2008, it was 5%. You look at the chart here, 5%. But some very interesting things are happening. Over 2020 and 2021, borrowing costs are at record lows. You borrow money for 2%, 3%. You didn't even really need to show income. Bad credit, no credit, everything was okay. You just go there, sign on the dotted line. Now, borrowing costs are through the roof. So it's harder and harder and harder to sell these cars. In fact, borrowing costs are now hitting 17 to 22% for subprime borrowers. So when you look at this, the average car price right now for a used car in America is $30,700. So when you look at this, 60-month loan term, about $800 a month. $800, that doesn't include insurance, gas, nothing. $800 a month. So this is $0 down, but believe it or not, the average American, they're not putting $0 down. In fact, on a $30,700 car, they're borrowing $37,000, $38,000. Why? The average is a 125% loan to value. 125% loan to value is what people are borrowing for cars. So when you look at what we're walking into right now, $30,700 is a used car today. In 2008, we're in the silent depression. In 2008, that used car was $7,900 bucks. $7,900. So today's car payment, $740. With 10 months of car payments today, you could have bought outright a car in 2008. That's how bad things are getting right now. But when you look at this situation we're walking into right now with student loans, it's an absolute crisis. 43.5 million borrowers had to start paying starting October 1st, about 2 weeks ago. The average American doesn't have any money. So how are they going to make these payments? They're not. People are going to start to make decisions on who is going to get paid and who's not going to get paid. Some people will choose to pay their car loan. Some people will choose to pay their landlord. Some people will pay to choose student loans. People are going to start making decisions. They're going to start prioritizing their payments. And a lot of people are going to start defaulting across the board. And that's going to have a ripple effect inside of the auto market. When you look at what's happening right now, for example, with wages, here's a breakdown of the average American, right? What the average person's going through. Car payment, $740. Car insurance, $150. Gas, $50 a week, $200 a month. Cell phone bill, $100. Rent, $1,500. Utilities, $100. Food, call it $125 a week. Then you have student loans, $500. Credit cards, $500. And then miscellaneous spending, maybe Amazon, some streaming services, clothes, maybe you need an oil change, right? All of this comes out to $4,790 a month. This doesn't include taxes. You're not saving a penny. Almost $5,000 a month. 60 grand a year, basically. 60 grand a year just to keep your head above water. But here's some really interesting things that are unfolding right now. So when you look at these student loan payments, if you have a master's degree, average is $584. Some people say it's $460. It's roughly $500. But 2 in 3 Americans, they don't have $400. So how are they going to make an average payment of $460 or $500 or $580 a month? They are not. They are not. Savings rate is at an all-time low. Savings rate for Americans is falling. I'm concerned. Top economist. When you look at what they're saying here, consumers remain remarkably resilient, right? But households still should build a buffer. In addition, how much you want to set aside. So the stockpile of cash most people are hoarding during the pandemic is now largely gone. Car prices plummeting. Average transaction price down 25% in a year, undercutting even some gasoline cars. Tesla quarterly profits plunged 44%. 44%. Wholesale used car prices back on the decline. And car insurance is skyrocketing. You're talking 47-year high for auto insurance. 47-year high. So you look at, just connect the dots here. Consumers, they've already been stretched to the edge. The media is not telling you how bad it really is out there. In fact, they're telling you things like the job market is doing really good. Job market's strong, economists say, but workers don't think so. But all that information that they're sharing, the unemployment information, the inflation data, you want to look at all that, and take that with a grain of salt, because the job market's not doing great. A lot of layoffs are unfolding. A lot of employers are looking to cut costs. They're looking to, put a little buffer in their own account because they don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. And over the last couple of years, what did we see unfold in the market? We saw the big push to the Great Resignation. Employees were demanding higher wages. Well, now the economy's turning. The employers are looking to save on wages. So they're going to start seeing more and more and more cuts. I mean, you're seeing right now with big banks. Big banks cut 20,000 jobs just this year. 20,000 jobs just this year. But what I've always wondered this, when you have 47-year high on auto insurance, you have gas prices that are going to continue to skyrocket. They're saying that it could go to $140 a barrel, which would take gas prices here in America up another 40%. You might see $7 as a national average. If gas is going up and you're seeing insurance going up and repair costs on vehicles going up, everything is going to go up. But real wages are starting to fall. You have to ask yourself, what is this actually going to mean for the job market? What is this going to mean for the auto industry? Well, this is what it's going to mean. You're seeing right now, motor vehicle repairs have jumped about 20%. So the cost of fixing these cars are continuing to rise. They're warning right here, death of the mechanic. I'm a mechanic, and the electric cars are going to drive us out of business, and it's going to cost motorists a fortune. It's because it's going to be too expensive to hold on to these vehicles as the job market's changing and the world's getting more and more and more expensive through inflation. So when you see these really high auto prices, you see these really high car prices, just remember, in 2008, what happened? A lot of people got really bad loans. They bought a lot of property they couldn't afford. The market sank. They were looking at a property they paid $300,000 for. Now it's worth $150,000. They walked away. They said, you know what? Why am I going to pay a loan on a $300,000 house when it's worth $150,000? You have millions and millions and millions of borrowers that have 125% loan to value at the height of the market with none of their own money in those loans. What are they going to do when they see their car price plummet? Right? What are they going to do? They're going to walk away. They're going to give the keys back. That's what they're going to do. They're going to give the keys back. And so then what are they going to do? They're going to start downgrading. They're going to start downsizing their cars. They're going to do whatever they have to do to be able to own a car, to drive. You're going to see a massive restructuring throughout the entire auto industry that's already starting now. But the big question becomes, is how fast does this happen? Well, it's going to already happen. It's already starting to happen, but October, November, December, January is going to get progressively worse. January 1st, just remember, you have 43.5 million borrowers with these student loans. Every single borrower that did not pay, it's going to get reported on their credit report starting January 1st. So January 1st, you're going to start seeing credit scores start to sink. It's going to get harder for people to get loans. It's going to get harder for people to get lines of credit. So what is this going to start to mean? People are going to start to pull back on their own spending, and they're going to start to do whatever they have to do to try to make ends meet, which is going to be selling off things, selling off their cars, getting out of these big monthly payments, trying to figure out a way in which they can survive. That's what we're walking into right now. I believe we're going to walk into a huge opportunity if you're looking to buy a nice car for cheap coming very, very soon. I believe there's going to be a mass opportunity there because a lot of people simply aren't going to be able to hold on to those cars, and the dealers aren't going to be able to sell them. So what's going to happen? Supply and demand. Supply and demand dictate price. If there's a lot of supply of vehicles and the demand is falling, just like what you're seeing with Tesla, you're going to start to see these prices continue to sink, to fall, to decline. That's what we're walking into. I believe it's going to be the greatest car market apocalypse that we've ever seen before in U.S. history. Some people are going to win because of it. Some people are going to lose. What do you think about it? Drop below. We'll have a conversation about this. I do believe what we're witnessing is going to be the biggest push ever for electric vehicles. And as we move further and further and further into higher energy prices, electric vehicles are going to become more and more and more dominant. And because of that, it's going to slowly push out all of these mechanics, all of this cheap labor. You're going to have to go to the dealer to get your car fixed. That's what we're walking into over the next couple of years. But right now, it's going to be the death of the combustion engine, and it's going to be the death of the leveraged American that has these auto loans that is barely making it. Unfortunately, it's the sad reality. But we were in the biggest auto market bubble of U.S. history. People are spending 30-40% over sticker price at the height of the market, and then borrowing 25% on top of that and getting a loan for it, all based on stimulus money and people making money in crypto and stocks. Everyone's making money left, right, and center. Who do you know now that's doing really, really, really well? Not as many people, I'm sure, today than you did, a year ago, 2 years ago. Back then, everybody was making money, doing everything, and it required almost no skill. Now everything is changing, and because of that, this whole thing's going to come down like a house of dominoes. Drop below, hit the like button. If you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description to schedule a free strategy session. Catch you in the next one.